Hello everyone. In this video, we are gonna learn what functions are and then what they do. We briefly went over this y equals to x last time, but I feel like I didn't really cover the concept of functions enough, so that's why we are gonna learn what they are, specifically. So let's just go over the definition here. What is a function? So a function is a relationship. It is super important. A relationship between two sets. If we are not sure about the concept of sets, don't worry too much because we are going to get into that later. You can see here what is a set. For now, let's focus on this function. So when it comes to function, it means it takes an input and performs an operation and produces exactly one output. So I think I briefly mentioned about input and output last time. Like 1 kilogram of apple. If you want to buy 1 kilogram of apples, then you have to pay $2. So 1 kilogram is an input at this point, like in this context. So output is $2. So you can think it as a machine. I will draw a machine here. Let's say this machine, if you put something inside, then it produces plus 3 of the input. Let's say it takes 1 as an input. Then it spits out 4 because this machine just does plus 3 all the time. If you put A in, then you get A plus 3 out because that's what this machine does. Then function, like this machine, will be look like, let's say you want to write an equation with this, then this output equals input plus 3, right? So usually we use y for this and we use x for this. So y equals x plus 3. So we just learned another function, y equals x plus 3. So like you just add 3 to the input, so you got output. Another one, maybe we can use this one as well, like play 2. So if you put positive 1 in, then you get positive 2 out. If you put negative 1 in, then you get negative 2 out from this machine. So that's basically what we call y equals 2x. Okay. Okay then. What about a set? Here we came across the concept of set. I honestly have no idea if you have heard of the concept of sets. There's a lot in it. Union of sets, intersection of sets, and Venn diagrams. But I'm gonna just go over briefly about the definition. What is a set? We are gonna go over domain and range as well, but like for now, let's focus on sets. A set is a collection of distinct objects or numbers. So like it's a collection of things. So we have some examples here. Here, set A, collection of 5 numbers, B, collection of colors. So the set is not necessarily about numbers all the time. You can make sets with everything. Maybe I can define another set like A, B, C, D, and Z, this kind of thing. Or it could be people, like your friends, set of your friends. But for now, since we are learning mathematics, we are gonna focus on only numbers, a set of numbers here, like a set of all negative, sorry, non-negative numbers. And then you can see this dot 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 here. So that basically means it continues. You can't write all the numbers in one set. So in this case, there are an infinite number of numbers in this set. We can't count the number. Let's have a look at the first one. A. There are 5 numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Second one, B. Red, blue, and yellow. There are 3 of them. But C. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Dot dot dot. And this one, we can't count the number. This set has an infinite number of numbers. So, like, in other words, there are infinitely many numbers in this set. So yeah, there are 2 kinds of sets. Infinite and finite. Anyway, let's keep it going. Input and output, domain and range. So we already talked about this concept, input and output, but these things will be domain and range respectively. Domain is the set of all possible inputs, and range is the set of all possible outputs that the function, can accept as for domain and can produce, usually represented by x and y. X, domain, input. These 3 words are all important to understand functions. Same, range, outputs, and then y. Same goes for these y values. Let's just quickly go over one example about Apple pricing. Well, let's look at this specific example. We've already done this before, actually. From the last class. Apples cost $2 per kilogram. That basically means if you want to buy 1 kilogram of apples, then you have to pay $2. So we define x and y like so. X equals kilograms of apples and y equals the total price in dollars. So that basically means, domain, if we can buy only 0 to 5 kilograms of apples, that basically means we have 6 choices, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then if you want to buy 1 kilogram of apples, then you have to pay 2. You can see here input and output. If you put 0 inside, then you get 0 out. Same goes for 1 and 2. And we used coordinates for this one. So this one, 1, 2, this one, 2,4. So that's how we plot a line graph on a Cartesian plane. So 0, 0 here, and remember horizontal line is x-axis, and the vertical line is y-axis. And then so like we did this kind of activity, and then like connect the dots and make a line. This is a function. This concept is really important because we are not just plotting graphs. We also have to find the rules between x and y. So that's how we get this equation, y equals blah blah x plus blah blah. So one thing that I want to mention here is that you can represent functions as equations, tables, graphs, or descriptions. You can just a moment. So this was what I said. You can represent functions as equations, tables, graphs, or descriptions. Let's have a look at this specific example, apple pricing. So we know the description. Apples cost $2 per kilogram. Even if you have only this information, you should be able to make this graph, this like graph on the cartesian plane, and this table and this equation, or like vice versa. If you know the equation, then you know how to plot this equation on this plane, with input and output. There are some ways. We are gonna learn like those kind of other ways to actually plot graphs only with equations, only with descriptions, or only with a table. So that's kind of that's our objective at this point. So even if you know only this graph, then this table, then you would be able to plot a graph on a Cartesian plane or find the rule and then find the equation. So that's something that we are practicing at this point. So yeah, I think this is it like for this video, and in the next video, we are gonna I don't know, I have to think about it a little bit more, but I think we are gonna deal with more various examples just to make things easier. So yeah, thanks for watching.